Hello, this is Mr. Chabry. We are here with another narrated Pokemon battle. So this is going to be a mixed tier match against Ignited Nightmares. And of course, if you notice on the team preview, we both brought a few Ubers. I brought 2 Ubers as my opponent has brought 3. So let's see if we can actually pull a victory here, even though we got 1 less Uber. I lead my Mewtwo. This is my Mega Mewtwo Y set. I've got Insomnia, and I thought maybe my opponent would try to lead Darkrai and get a Dark Void off. However, we see the Spirit Tomb, and I do not want to stay in. I can't really touch the Spirit Tomb. So I'm going to go into Yveltal expecting either a Dark type move or a Ghost type move. And we do see the Ghost type move. It's going to be the Shadow Ball. Yveltal will take that pretty well. So I feel okay with Yveltal being in here. I want to go knock off whatever item this thing could be carrying. It's going to have those leftovers. And we see the Psychic. I'm not totally sure if that was a misclick on my opponent's part or my opponent didn't realize Psychic has no effect on Yveltal, but I'm going to assume that was a misclick. I just go for a Oblivion Wing here and go ahead and finish off the Spirit Tomb. Looking at my opponent's team, my opponent actually has quite a few Dark types and, Ghost types. So, yeah, it's good to take care of that, but we have to take care of the other, Dark types, Ghost types for Mewtwo to actually be okay here. We're going to see the Cofagrigus here. Of course, Cofagrigus often has, setup moves and stuff like that. I'm going to taunt just in case it does have that, as it ends up having hidden power. So, honestly, that's not too much of a problem for me because we take that pretty well, and I just go for a Dark Pulse and finish this thing off. There's no way it could actually, do that much to Yveltal. So we're going to see Shuckle here. Most of the time, Shuckles like to set up stuff too, like Stealth Rocks, Sticky Webs, stuff like that. And I'd rather it not do that. So I'm going to go ahead and taunt it. We're going to actually see the Power Trick here after, it going for, or after it eats that Mental Herb. So it's going to go ahead and get that Power Trick, and what that does is it changes the defense stat with the attack stat. So now, instead of having crazy high defense, it's got crazy high attack, and it actually gets a crit on our Gligar here. Gligar is pretty good defensively though, so should still be pretty okay with this Gligar here. Unfortunately, that crit did do quite a bit, but seeing that the crit did not take us out, I feel okay with going for a Roost. That will eliminate our flying type for a turn, so we will resist the Stone Edge and we will get some good health back. We're going to see the Yveltal come out. Gligar, even though it's a good defensive mon, it's better for defense than special defense. And most of the time Yveltals are especially offensive, so I don't really like this matchup. I'm going to Toxic though. I really wanted to Toxic that Shuckle. That would actually help me out quite a bit because Shuckle doesn't have the best HP stat, and Toxic really helps destroy Shuckles. We're going to go into Toxapex. This is my specially defensive Toxapex, and it should be able to take anything that this Yveltal goes for. It's going to go for an Oblivion Wing. That's going to try to get some health back, and it actually gets a crit too, so that kind of bites, But Toxapex is still good. We do have Regenerator, so if we ever have to switch out, we get all that health back, especially from this range. We'll be back to full. And since that was a crit, I feel okay with just staying in, We're going to get hit with another Oblivion Wing. It's really taking its toll on us, though, so we're going to have to be careful here. I just go for the Toxic Spikes. I would love to get that Shuckle badly poisoned. If I can do that, Shuckle is no longer a threat. So let's go ahead and get some Toxic Spikes up. Of course, looking at that, I think Toxapex should be able to take another Oblivion Wing. We do have Regenerator, so once I heal up, or I switch out, I will heal a little bit of that health back. So I'm going to go ahead and get that last layer of Toxic Spikes. And, I don't think this Yveltal has Defog. I know it's an option that it gets, but most of the time they don't actually have Defog. So yeah, we're going to see it get hurt with that Toxic Poison. And here, thinking about it, I don't really think Toxapex is going to, help me out. I mean, it could be good at going in and taking some of these special hits, but honestly, I want to have a free switch here, bring something in without it taking damage. So I feel like, let's just let Toxapex go down here. It's done its main job, which was to go ahead and get those Toxic Spikes up and running. So now I go into my Darmanitan. And we actually go ahead and see that this Yveltal has to be Scarfed, which actually surprised me. You know, I did notice it was going for Oblivion Wing every time, but I didn't realize it would have been Scarfed because you don't see him Scarfed that often. So I do actually live though, which is actually pretty nice. And I go for a Flare Blitz, and we're going to do a ton of damage on this. With that Toxic Poison, it will be enough to finish it off, but I was actually surprised that it lived the Flare Blitz. So it seems to be more of a defensive variant. We're going to see the Shuckle come in and take that poison, so that feels really good to me. I'm going to go ahead and switch out. I think Darmanitan still has some use because with that Scarf it can outspeed a lot of things. I'm going to go into Mewtwo here, mainly because I really want to try to set up with Mewtwo. We're going to see Shuckle go for an Earthquake try to finish off Darmanitan, but with Mewtwo here, it doesn't do that much, and that's because Shuckle has such low attack that it doesn't really do much. Another reason why I thought it'd be nice to go in here is if my opponent goes for a Power Trick, I can just easily eliminate this thing because it won't have a possibility of holding on to that Sash. But after seeing how little that did, you know, I'm going to go ahead, Mega Evolve, and this first turn actually go for a Calm Mind because I know without going for Power Trick, Shuckle cannot touch me. So I'm going to get that Calm Mind as we see the Darkrai come in. And of course, you know, Darkrai cannot Dark Void me because I've got Insomnia on this Mewtwo. I don't want to take a Dark Pulse though, or even a Sucker Punch or anything like that. So I'm just going to click Focus Blast here, and we do connect, which is actually really nice. So that will decimate the Darkrai here. Mewtwo is looking really good. We got +1 Special Defense and Special Attack. We see the Shuckle come out. And honestly, we've already seen that Shuckle can't do anything on its own. It has to have that Power Trick. And I'm going to go ahead and Side Strike. I want to see how much this does. You know, just to see how bulky this thing is. That actually does some decent damage. So yeah, I feel good about that. All I really need to do is, you know, if I wait for this thing to go for a Power Trick, I can easily eliminate it the next turn because I am faster. And honestly, if I don't even attack it, eventually the Toxic Poison will take it out. So I feel safe in, you know, just going ahead and continuing Calm Mind setup here on the Shuckle. Because we've already seen that Shuckle cannot touch Mewtwo. Its attack set is way too low. So I'm just going to take this as an opportunity to set up as many Calm Minds as possible. The main reason is because we do see the Giratina in the back. And Giratina's it could be kind of threatening to my Mewtwo. So I would like to get some Calm Minds up. That way I can just eliminate with one hit, or even take a hit from it if it happens to have a Sash or something. It might be like a special variant, I'm not totally sure, but we see the Power Trick, and I could Calm Mind, but that would be a free chance for Shuckle to possibly take out my Mewtwo. So we're going to Side Strike here, finish off that Shuckle before it can do anything, and out will come Giratina, my opponent's last Pokemon. So I should be good with just going for Ice Beam. I know I'm faster than Giratina, so that's what I'm going to do. If it's not Sash, it will go down, and it does go down. So good game there, Ignited Nightmares. Mewtwo really proving its worth. I love Mega Mewtwo Y. I feel like it's kind of underrated in the Uber variant, you know, tier. The problem with that is because Marshadow is so big in Ubers that it kind of gives a hard time for Mega Mewtwo Y to shine. But here we see Mega Mewtwo Y, you know, of course, shine. And I love Mega Mewtwo Y. I really do. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I will see you in the next Pokemon video.